So we are the Group 7 members Shirley Uka, Transton Tortur, and Juan Ubas. So for today, our topic that we will going to discuss is all about biodiversity and a healthy society. So the learning outcomes, at the end of this section, the student should be able to first identify the importance of biodiversity as a source of different biological resources and discuss the adverse effect of resource depletion on society and the measures to mitigate them. So, what is biodiversity first? So, biodiversity, it is defined as the variety of life present in an ecosystem. So, variety of life that present in an ecosystem. And also, it is an important in how society benefits from it. Biodiversity also as a source of food, medicine, and other biological sources in relation to the consumption of goods. So we have here the three different types of biodiversity. First, we have genetic diversity. Second, species diversity. And last is the ecological diversity. So we will discuss these three different types of biodiversity. So let's start with genetic diversity. So what is genetic diversity? So genetic diversity refers to the variation among organisms of the same species. So variation of the same species. So refers siya sa mga organism na has a variation of the same species. So here's the example. These are the variation are usually passed from parents to offspring. So here's the example. So the example here is a sweet potato. So a sweet potato is this have a lot of variations but only have the same species. Same as the ladybug, it has different variation but the same species. Okay, so this is the genetic diversity. So next, we have species diversity. So what is species diversity? Species diversity refers to the variety of species within a particular region. So variety of species within a particular region. So it is influenced by the environmental condition in the region. Species are the normal measures of biodiversity. For these are the basic unit of biological classifications. So, species are grouped together in families based on shared characteristics. So, species shared characteristics, and this is species diversity, variety of species in a particular region. So, I show you an example. So, for this example is first example is mushroom. So, they grow in a particular region. So, same places, but they have different variety of species. So a mushroom is have a lot of variety, but they grow in the same particular region. Okay, and next is example is the animals. Wild animals also they grow in a particular region, the same but they have different variety. Okay, so that is the example of species diversity. Next is ecological diversity. So what is ecological diversity? Ecological diversity refers to the network of different species of the ecosystem. So different species and the interaction of these species. So example is this one. Okay, so we have rainforest. So in the rainforest, they live or a lot of species nga nag-stay or nagpuyo diri nga places. And we have also oceans. So, different species also na nakatira diri nga mga lugar. And then, the savanna. So, different species also that live in this ecosystem. So, that are the three different type of biodiversity. So, what are they? They are, first is the genetic diversity, second is the species diversity, and this is the last, the ecological diversity. So, biodiversity and a healthy society. Okay, so this is the so this is the benefits, or the society benefits greatly from the richness of biodiversity, since human can source from natural biological resources such as food, medicine, and more. So biodiversity is natural in natural ecosystem can also regulate climate, food, pollination, water and air quality, water storage, and decomposition of waste, among others. So the section specifically covers the relationship of biodiversity with first health and medicine, second food, third energy, fourth water storage and flood control, and air and water treatment. So this topic will be discussed by my co-members, which is Ranstin Tortur.
Health and medicine. Herbal medicine were also used in healing rituals and in the treatment of injuries resulting from war accident. Capricus sempervirens or cypress and Commiphora myra or mare used the treatment cough, cold and inflammation since ancient time. Salva apiana or California sage was an herbal plant used by Indian tribes of Southern California to aid childbirth and was believed to protect the immune system from respiratory ailments. Alhagi marurum or camel thorn secretes a sweet and gummy substance from its stems and leaves called manna during hot days. Manna from the camel thorn contains milliliters and sucrose and invert sugar. Ligusticum scoticum or Scottish lovage is believed to treat hysterical and uterine disorders, and its seeds are used to relieve flatulence and stimulate the senses. So that herbal medicine is the use of plant to treat disease and enhance general health and well-being. And herbal medicine aims to return the body to a state of natural balance so that it can heal itself. Food is the basic needs for human survival. During the Stone Age, humans relied only on hunting and foraging to get food. They depended on what the ecosystem could readily provide them. Farmers and fishermen rely on a healthy ecosystem for their livelihood. The benefits of biodiversity are necessary for a growth of many important crops. Agrobiodiversity is the result of careful selections and innovative developments by farmers, fishers, and herders throughout the year. Food is the one of the basic necessities of life. Food is important because the energy we need to keep active throughout the day. Energy. Humans rely on energy provided by the ecosystem to the necessary activities in order to survive. In the Stone Age, heat energy from fires was used mainly for survival against harsh cold environment, for cooking, and for communications with nearby tribe in the form of smoke. In 1820s, natural gas was used as a source of light, although the lack of pipeline infrastructures made its distribution challenging. In 1830s, the electric generator was developed based on Michael Faraday's discovery of electric magnetism. In 1850s, commercial oil was drilled, which led to the distillation of kerosene from petroleum. In 1860s, Agustin Mochot developed of the first solar power system for industrial machinery. In 1892, geothermal energy was first used. And in 1942, the first nuclear fission reactor was designed and built. The demands for energy created a positive impact of unconventional ways of producing energy, but in turn have resulted in adverse effect on biodiversity in terms of wildlife mortality, habitat loss, fragmentation, noise, and light pollution, invasive species, and change in carbon stock and water resources. Energy is a very important in our lives because it is a basic human needs. We use energy to not only heat our human made structures, but we use it to cool them as well.
Storage, water, and flood control. The earliest recorded civilizations were situated near rivers or lakes, which made their livelihoods dependent on the water. Aqueducts were invented and built by Romans and the Greeks to maintain stable water supplies to communities that were far from bodies of water. So, mao na ang aqueduct. Ang aqueduct usa ka agianan sa tubig nga gihimo aron madala ang tubig gikan sa gigikan hangtod sa usa ka lugar para pod sa pag-apod sa tubig bisag layo. Aqueduct also gigamit alang bisan unsang sistema like sa mga tubo, kanal, tunnel ug uban pa nga mga istruktura nga gigamit alang anang katuyuan. Biodiversity in forest plays an unquestionably crucial role in water resources. Forests provided natural filterizations and storage system to provide fresh water. Flooding is mostly known for its adverse effect, but it also has some benefits. In the context of agriculture, flooding can help farmers for it distributes nutrients to particular patches of soil lack. Ang flooding daw kuno ang isa gid nga maagian ana ay kanang mga lugar nga kanang dili kaayo mahatagan og tubig, kanang dili kay makuanan og tubig maagian. Flood can also add nutrients to rivers, lakes, thus improving the ecosystem. Kung masobraan pagbaha, ang epekto ani kay ang pagkawala sa kinabuhi sa tao, pagkaguba sa balay, sa komunidad, pagka daot sa mga tanom, o pagkawala sa mga mananap, o makadaot pud ni siya sa atong kahimsog tungod sa sakit nga dala. Also, ang pagbaha kay maka-add siya nutrients like sa rivers, lakes, and improving the ecosystem. However, these benefits are not always achieved because most of the time flooding causes long-term damages. Flood damage both urban and rural areas. Ay kana mga tanom sa balay, then kaning sa palayan. Air and water treatment. Some of the gases as criteria pollutants like nitrogen oxide and O3 ozone in moderate amounts contribute to a healthy ecosystem and balanced biodiversity. However, due to excessive concentrations of these gases, the capacity of the environment to clean itself and to be resilient is diminished. Ang gasto kuno makadaot siya pag sobra na kaayo ang exposure. Then ang sanhi pud ani ay kanang pagbag-o sa klima, like sa pamamagitan sa paghunong sa init o makaambag po ni siya sakit sa tao tungod sa smog o pollution sa hangin. Excessive nitrogen stimulates growth of nitrogen-loving plant species but reduces the occurrence of plant species adapted to low nitrogen environments. Nitrogen reduces the resilience of the forest to other environmental stresses such as drought, frost, pests, and diseases. So, maura to ang kong part din. The next topic will be discussed by my co-members.
Here's the example impact of biodiversity loss. So the impact of biodiversity loss is the primary cause of environmental degradation is the increase in human population. Overpopulation, which is associated with industrialization and agriculture, mining, fishing, deforestation, Environmental pollution and exploitation of biodiversity leads to destruction of habitats. And of course, technology has played a role in the changes happening to ecosystem, habitats, and biodiversity. Biodiversity loss can also contribute to climate change, pest infestation, and disease. So I have here example of climate change. Also, I will show you a video all about climate change.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale, our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. The world's people have spoken. Their message is clear. Time is running out.
The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now is 50% higher than it was in 1900. And not only are we piling in more and more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but we're chopping down the forests of the earth at a great rate. And the forests themselves are the most efficient consumers of carbon dioxide that there are on Earth. We're going to destroy the ground because the soil of a rainforest isn't very good. We are actually tampering with the climate of the Earth and with the very atmosphere that we breathe. When we talk about the disappearance of the ozone layer, we don't know what will happen when the ozone layer goes. The world has become so fragile that we cannot subject the earth to the tortures we can now inflict upon it. When we talk about the greenhouse effect, we're talking about something that affects the entire earth. And these problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. If there's one thing that is biologically certain about the human species is that it is a human species, one species.
If we don't stop the destruction of our natural world, nothing else will matter. Simply put, if we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves.
The only way we can solve a problem is by a human solution. Never can we sit back and wait for miracles to save us. Miracles don't happen. Sweat happens. Efforts happens. Thought happens.
Okay, so that is one example if we lost our biodiversity, which is the climate change. So, biodiversity as a source of food, medicine, and other biological resources in relation to the consumption of goods. It provides human resources in order to survive. Any disruption or destruction in the earth, biodiversity will also affect the life and health of the people. So, the destruction of the environment may also cause mental distress among humans. So, here's the example of losing of biodiversity, illegal logging, and then the effect, which is the sickness of the people. Okay, so protocols on biodiversity. So there is a need to enhance the implementation of regulations and worldwide protocols such as Montreal Protocol and Kyoto Protocol. So what are they? So Montreal Protocol, it was designed to stop the production and import of ozone layer depleting substances and reduce their concentration in the atmosphere to help protect the Earth ozone layer. Kyoto Protocol. It is an international agreement aimed to manage and reduce carbon dioxide emission and other greenhouse gases. And we have Cartagena Protocol. Aims to ensure safe transport, handling, and use of living modified organisms resulting from modern biotechnology that may have an adverse effect of biodiversity. So locally, strict implementation of environmental laws among industries and communities alike must be ensured to prevent further damage of biodiversity from air pollution and water pollution. There should also be effect to ensure that whatever treatment is employed, it should not promote mass pollution, transfer from one matrix of the environment to another. So that's all our report. Thank you.